Greetings one and all and welcome to the Mystic Mind Analysis. I am the Nightmare Rider, Mage of Mind, reminding you as always that even a cheeseburger can be deconstructed as its original source. Discord's character development probably has the most critical eyes watched on by the fandom, considering how unexpected his reformation was. Discord's understanding of friendship has largely been based on trial and error, making mistakes in judgment based on his chaotic nature. This has frequently met with a lot of resistance from Main 6, save for Fluttershy, and not without reason. But the important thing to remember about Discord is that he's always been more of a chaotic neutral character than an evil one, pranking on an epic scale out of selfish desire for fun rather than any malicious intent. Comparing his actions to Queen Chrysalis or King Sombra, it's easy to put things into perspective. Make new friends but keep Discord continues with his base character trait of general self-centeredness, with a Grand Galloping Garner as a perfect setting to present his conflict, since it's the most important night of the year for many Ponyville citizens. While Fluttershy is certain that he would have gotten his own ticket, Discord isn't oblivious to how suspicious many ponies still are of him, so it is understandable that he will be annoyed at not being invited. It is also important to consider that Discord has never needed to relate to anyone on the subject of chaos magic, considering he has always engaged in it purely for his own sake and not for others. Because of this, there is a lot more case for him to believe that his friendship with Fluttershy is not as genuine as he was led to believe. Something to also note is that Discord is very new to having friends at all. He is over 1,000 years old and he has only come to understand even the basics of friendship within the past year or so. It is certain at this point he has a clear desire to maintain a friendship. It's how he goes about it which is currently in question. After being backstabbed by T-Rex, Discord got a serious wake-up call as to the importance of Fluttershy's dedication to him. He has seen what it's like to have his trust broken, so to feel so easily left out of something with great personal weight, like a formal party which everyone desires to go to, it feels like at least some significance is not held of the same importance as he was led to believe it was supposed to. His actions and attempts to disrupt Fluttershy's friendship with Treehugger reminds me a lot of Sweetie Belle's actions in the Sweetie Belle Toils. Discord is considering very little about the broader consequences of his actions, only about what he wants due to his immediate feelings. Interestingly enough, his initial way of causing disruption through attempting to make Fluttershy jealous of what he presents as an old acquaintance actually provides some small pieces of world building. Considering that this is a magic heavy world, where mysticism is a natural part of the landscape, it would make sense that there are some creatures which are naturally resilient to this force, just as some creatures may also be more resilient to hot or cold climates. I also found that Treehugger's sonic vibration powers was also a clever break from the conventional hippie stereotype, since it expands on the methods of looking after magical creatures in this world. This episode marks the first appearance of Discord's home, which is just as chaotic and random as you would expect it to be, with a very surrealist and Escher-like style to the whole design. It is the very embodiment of chaos magic, which makes me wonder how the post got to him to begin with. This episode is one that took me a fair bit of thinking to find a balanced perspective on, primarily because there is one huge factor which I think drags the episode down. While it is largely played for comedy, the fact that Fluttershy is so oblivious to Discord's jealousy feels very out of place. Out of the main 6, Fluttershy is usually the most empathic, and so she is the most likely to recognise when someone around her is expressing hostile emotions. Yet no matter how heavy Discord's sarcasm gets, she never seems to get the message that he is trying to undermine her friendship with Treehugger. You cannot simplify characters in order to make a conflict work, so they just become one-dimensional. It takes Discord spelling out his annoyances twice straight to Fluttershy's face in order for her to even acknowledge that Discord was upset at something to begin with, taking away a significant portion of the fun. This would have been acceptable earlier in the episode, when Fluttershy expected Discord to get his own ticket anyway, but the fact that Twilight is more suspicious of Discord than Fluttershy actually makes the conflict itself considerably weaker. This could have been so easily fixed with Fluttershy starting to grow suspicious of Discord's behaviour earlier on, shortly before the gala, and perhaps not even adding to a secondary conflict. She could have wanted to trust Discord and not assume that he was reverting to old ways, since he has always done a considerable amount to be reformed up until this point. But at the same time, there is some level of suspicion based on just how annoyed Discord sounds. Treehugger could even potentially reassure Fluttershy that Discord isn't acting so bad. Everything else about this episode would have been intact, including what is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best part of the episode, the humour. The central mechanical comedy is a subversion of expectation, so considering that Discord is a spirit of chaos, there is rarely anything that is predictable in the episodes with him. This episode is just jam-packed with humour, keeping a good variety between visual gags, such as a surprisingly accurate recreation of a scene from The Shining, and character interactions, all playing to the strengths of everyone he engages with, all established through numerous episodes past.
Knock knock. You're supposed to say who's there! This is the most basic of jokes!
You're the most basic of jokes.
Rarity's concern with her own nudity despite not wearing clothes in everyday life builds on her posh and high standards nature. Solicitor's clear intentions to invite Discord to make Nagala more amusing, pleading to how the fandom has come to know her as Trollestia, are both very clever, but what got me laughing the most were the fourth wall breaks, both from Pinky's overexcitement at cupcake sales and Discord opening a portal to live action puppet dimension was so unexpected. It's a testament to how much Natasha Lewinger has gone above and beyond to use as much silliness as possible to reinforce just how important the relationship with Fluttershy is, especially when he shows to Treehugger the potential he has for being more considerate of others. Overall, this episode hit a big wall that prevented it from reaching greatness, but I certainly enjoyed it considerably more on the second watch through. Discord still has a lot of develop to do in his own personal lessons of friendship, with Fluttershy being the ideal pony to both be patient enough to allow his growth in spite of his chaotic nature, while also developing her own assertiveness to put Discord in his place when he starts crossing the line. It would have been ideal if Fluttershy wasn't so ignorant about Discord's annoyances, especially because of how easily it could have been fixed, but given just how funny this episode is with its clever reference placements and general humour variety, all of which works in favour of character development, this episode is definitely one that I'll be revisiting later down the line. Make new friends, but keep Discord gets a final grade of a B+. Until the next time, this is the Nightmare Rider, Major Mind, riding out.